Around an hour ago, it was announced per Pete Thamel that Pittsburgh All-American wide receiver Jordan Addison entered the transfer portal. And let alone, if you pull up 24/7 Sports transfer portal page, it shows Jordan Addison right there, ranked as a 97 overall. I said I would make a video on this if Addison did indeed enter the portal. I thought about it over the weekend and made an incorrect prediction and thought that he would decline to enter the portal because of all the news that blew up. I thought that maybe him entering the portal would make a lot more people hate him since it was public news and no one seems to be a fan of this move, and that maybe that would hold him back. But no, here we are. He's entered the portal. This is not a guarantee that he is going to leave Pittsburgh, but it's a pretty strong indicator that he's going somewhere else. And he claims that it is for, or someone close to him, pardon me, close to Addison, claimed that it is for professional development, but I'm assuming that NIL plays a pretty big role, and I'll explain why in about a minute or two. I'm just going to read an article by 24/7 Sports on this, give my thoughts, mention some schools that I think he will look into and possibly transfer toward, maybe make a transfer prediction, and then finish the video. This is not going to be the normal 20-minute video. This is kind of more somewhat breaking news, but somewhat just analyzing recent news. Anyway, Pittsburgh All-American wide receiver Jordan Addison enters the transfer portal by Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports. The article, as always, will be linked down below. Pittsburgh wide receiver Jordan Addison officially entered the transfer portal Tuesday, 24/7 Sports has learned. Addison won the 2021 Biletnikoff Award, which is given to the top overall receiver in college football, thanks to a 100-catch, 1,593-yard, 17-touchdown season. The previous year, Addison had 666 yards, 4 TDs, earned 24/7 Sports True Freshman All-American honors. 24/7 Sports has given Addison a transfer rating of 97, making him the number 5 overall transfer in the 2022 cycle and the top transfer available. Sources have indicated USC and Texas are expected to be involved in the pursuit of Addison. USC is definitely due to NIL and connections to Caleb Williams, as both were from Maryland. Texas, I would not say is due to NIL, but rather due to the fact that Addison's wide receivers coach, who's been mentoring him and developing him, went to Texas. So if you want to get that same development that has turned him into an All-American, go to Texas. You want the rumored $3 million in being involved in real estate and inhaling California money, then you go to USC. Other teams that could be of interest are Alabama, Georgia, and Miami. Miami being in conference. Two other schools that are just off the top of my head. I doubt he's going to look even toward them. But Clemson, they've declined to use the portal before, but Clemson, they're traditional power in the ACC. They could use some wide receivers because they don't have wide receivers right now. They could use an X-Factor guy that DJ or Cade, whoever starts, can just heave it up when they need to get a play, and Addison will make something happen. Another school, the most unlikely, we all know where Mark Whipple went to in Nebraska. Whipple was the guy who coached Kenny Pickett and schemed the whole offense that Jordan Addison was used to, and that helped make Pickett and Addison and the Pittsburgh passing game successful. But I'm thinking USC or Texas. I would lean heavily toward USC just because the reports that were coming out that were indicating him looking at USC, and the reports, more often than not in the modern world, there is some clickbait stuff, there is some stuff that is incorrect, but when multiple reliable people say the same thing, it's a good indication that that's going to be, something to look out for, and that they're possibly correct. Or likely correct, pardon me. So again, Alabama and Georgia, they're looking for wide receivers. Same thing with Miami. All those programs are obviously full in with NIL. They all have good to great or above wide receivers coaches. It's crazy. ESPN's Pete Thamel reported last week that Pittsburgh head coach Pat Narduzzi called Lincoln Riley multiple times Friday to express, I don't know why that happened, his displeasure about potential tampering, which is, I don't know if Pittsburgh is going to follow through with that and possibly make accusations. I doubt the NCAA is going to do anything about it, because this stuff we have known, especially when the NILs come out now, we've known that, this tampering issue with NIL stuff, the numerous loopholes of how you can't contact a player, but maybe you contact someone close to them and all this different stuff. And the NCAA, their lack of power, especially in the past year or two, nothing will happen here. I would seriously doubt that anything would happen here, that the tampering accusation would be followed through on. Texas wide receivers coach Brennan Marion served as Addison's wide receivers coach during the 2021 season, helping Addison to his breakout campaign. He can, as I mentioned before, still choose to go back to Pittsburgh if he opts to withdraw from the portal. The Panthers have not yet canceled his athletic aid per a source, and he's still listed on their 2022 roster. A Frederick Maiden, a Maryland native, Addison ranked as the 275th overall recruit in the 2020 class. He was listed, according to 24/7 Sports, as a guy with a wiry frame that could add muscle, could play in slot and wide, great hands, strong route runner, legit 4.51 in the 40, big play threat, excellent ball skills, fearless catching ball in traffic. We've seen that multiple times with Pittsburgh. Releases well, dangerous after catch, multi-year starter at a top 15 program, draft day 2 potential. Now it looks like he will likely be a first-round pick this next season, regardless of where he goes. The NCAA introduced the transfer portal in 2018, giving athletes a path to explore their options. I'm reading this part of the article just to explain the portal a little bit, in case you don't know a whole lot about it. Players do not need to ask permission from their coaching staff to transfer. They merely need to request that compliance enter their name. Usually it takes 24 to 48 hours for a player to appear following their request. So Addison might have applied on May 1st in time to not need a waiver, but it just took this long to process. I don't know, though. Schools are free to contact a player without restriction once their name appears in the portal. There were 2,646 players to enter the transfer portal during the 2020 to 2021 transfer cycle, per a source. It's absolutely crazy right now, the amount of players in the portal. So many of them aren't even going to get a scholarship after they've entered. Jordan Addison obviously being one of the highest rated players in the portal, even if you include those who are already committed at a 97. So I don't know where he's going to go for sure. I have no inside sources or anything, but my educated guess would be if he truly means his development, he's going to look toward Alabama, because Tyler Harrell and Jermaine Burton are not as good as Jordan Addison is. We don't even know how good truly Harrell is. We just know he's fast. Burton is not, I don't think, in my opinion, a top-tier elite wide receiver like Jordan Addison is. So Bama can use him. Georgia can use him. And that's if he stays true, in my opinion, to him wanting to be professionally developed. He could also opt back to stay at Pittsburgh, but I feel like NIL has a huge involvement here, and because of that, I'm going to say he probably goes to USC or to Alabama or Texas. Out of those three, I would probably look at USC. But if Alabama wants him, I have a good feeling that Alabama will get him. Just have to wait and see, and just listen for any additional information on Jordan Addison. So that's all I'm going to say for today. If you liked this brief, short video just discussing the Jordan Addison situation and the news surrounding that, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment your thoughts on Jordan Addison transferring from Pittsburgh. He can still come back, but tell me your thoughts about him entering the portal down below, and tell me where you think he is going to go, whether it's stay at Pittsburgh or go somewhere else. Tell me that down in the comments below, and click the notification bell so you can get notified when I post more content. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys around. Bye.